Good evening and welcome back to 29 News Streaming. Live in the newsroom, I'm Isla Miyabi, and thanks for joining me for tonight's edition of Your Day in News, where we recap the top stories of the day. Albemarle County Public Schools remain closed for the 7th day in a row. Jackson Shocks explains what is keeping students at home.
Students and teachers at Albemarle County Public Schools are still sitting at home Tuesday because of the effects of the winter storm, but this time it's not the snow and ice on the ground that's causing the problems.
Typically, we're able to, over the next couple of days, brush the snow off of buses, but as everybody knows, it froze and it adhered to the buses. And so the amount of time that it's been taken to be able to get them cleared and off of the buses has been a challenge.
Ice flew off the top of an ACPS bus Tuesday morning and hit a car driving behind it. The district says no one was hurt, but the incident led to the additional day home from school while they make sure each bus is safe to drive. That means climbing a staircase and hacking at the ice on the roofs of 160 school buses.
They're not all in one central location, so that's one of the challenges we face is making sure we get to those buses and get them cleared.
Albemarle Schools tells me having to clean buses like this is very unusual and blamed the thick layer of ice that formed on top for the troubles. In Albemarle County, Jackson Shock, 29 News.
Charlottesville's City Council joined others across the Commonwealth to condemn federal immigration enforcement. Avery Davis caught up with the councilman on how the city will and will not be cooperating with federal agents.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes. We need to just stay grounded in that, what we're advocating for is legal, it's constitutional. We can't become so fearful that we're afraid to say that.
Charlottesville City Council's unanimous resolution condemns federal immigration enforcement and sets guidelines for how the city deals with ICE.
I think we want to be part of a coalition of localities throughout Virginia that are making it clear that we're in opposition to what's happening.
The resolution states that unless a deal otherwise is made, Charlottesville will not help immigration enforcement. Federal agents will be given the same access to public and private spaces or records as anyone else. Also, ICE arrests at schools, hospitals, courthouses, and places of worship should not be tolerated.
It is an attempt to try to do something that may help, as well as to be able to signal to the community where city government stands.
Worried that Charlottesville could become a target for ICE because of its political reputation, activist Jeff Vogel is happy to see council take a clear stance.
Difficult to assess its impact. It is a good idea for as many municipalities as possible to chime in and to make their position clear that this is not appropriate.
Payne admits the resolution is limited. On the other hand, he says there's only so much any city can do.
I don't think any locality can fully be prepared if you look at the kind of things that are happening in Minneapolis. But I certainly think there's far more planning and thinking through all possible scenarios that we could do to be as best prepared as possible.
Nearly $500,000 will be reallocated towards groups supporting people experiencing homelessness, thanks to a unanimous City Council decision. Kate Netterline sat down with local services on why this money is urgently needed.
It's been a lot of scrambling. We just don't know what's going to happen.
Scrambling to find the money to pay for what Shayla Washington with the Blue Ridge Area Coalition for the Homeless calls life-saving services. Now, the city has voted to pitch in $234,000 for a supportive housing program, which is operated by Region 10 to replace delayed federal funding.
There's a lot of uncertainty with how we're going to fund programs, how we're going to continue supporting people in their housing projects.
Under the Trump administration, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has shifted its funding priorities away from permanent supportive housing to, quote, restore accountability to homelessness programs and promote self-sufficiency. Homeless service providers here see it differently.
This permanent supportive housing program is life-saving for the individuals who receive it. So to lose that would not only put people back on the streets, but also have them lose access to the supportive services that they've been receiving for years.
The $234,000 will be a stopgap solution until July.
It appears to be temporary at this time, but we're not guaranteed that the current federal administration is going to not continue to push to eliminate or defund in a significant way this program.
An additional $170,000 will go to the Salvation Army to help pay for housing for up to 6 families.
So these are new shelter beds, which is important for everyone to know and appreciate. When the Salvation Army relocates to the Cherry Avenue location as a part of their renovation plan at Ridge Street, these families would go with them.
The Virginia Department of Transportation has released its plan to turn Water Street and South Street into a one-way road. City Council has until August to decide, but Friends of the Downtown Mall are speaking out. Kendall Henson sat down with them about their concerns.
Years of work have gone into studying and redesigning this intersection in Charlottesville. The latest draft of those plans would make Water and South Streets one way.
When the mall was originally designed, the streets around the mall were one-way streets, and that proved to be incredibly problematic.
Greer Achenbach is executive director of Friends of Charlottesville Downtown.
There was a reason that we did this to start with. And those challenges still exist for our downtown businesses.
Those challenges, Achenbach says, are accessibility concerns for the downtown mall, added struggles for visitors with parking, and for businesses as delivery trucks work to service the area.
The idea was to come up with based on community feedback, a plan that would reduce congestion and enhance safety.
Sharon Ketchum with VDOT's Culpeper District says VDOT is still accepting feedback about the traffic proposal. Achenbach says she's in favor of changes for pedestrians, but does not think altering Water Street is the solution.
This just becomes kind of one more barrier to people coming downtown to take advantage of this really, truly incredible asset that we have here in our community.
In Charlottesville, Kendall Hansen, 29 News.
Thanks so much for tuning in. For 29 News, I'm Isla Miyabi.